that if you want to really be effective coming down, oh, look out, 3 wide and into the wall will go the race leaders. Caution flag is out for the first time of the night. Now heads up for that second pack arriving on scene in a hurry, and they're going to slide into 73 involved. That's the big one on lap 15, and
corner. Let's take another look here at this point, and there you see the 64, the 8 tries to put him in a little bit of what we like to call the sucker hole, and that just leads to that little bit of contact, a little bit of mismanagement out on track, and that sends everybody around him.
Brad Collins did a great job on slowing that down. He got run over from behind by the pack that had absolutely nowhere to go, so I feel bad for him. He was doing a good job trying to avoid all of this mess. Rutherford tried to make this look happen down into turn number 1, and I think this is going to be a great shot here to show the big speed differences that we saw as the rest of the pack came sliding in. I mean, look at how quick some of these drivers were still slamming into this mess.
Push here from Cole Maxwell coming off of the corner. Yep, that's exactly what it was.
Tell you what, that could have been our second caution of the day. And trying to track up to the top guys on the top side. There's Bray down on the bottom, and the 200 car of Tommy Cook in there as well. And entering turn 3. Oh, Bray just moved up the racetrack and clipped him.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. Bray just moved up the track there, and there's the contact.
Man, that's a tough hit, too, because you know that he was not going slow enough to force a yellow flag, right? The only reason why that caution was thrown was because of how far sideways he got. If it transitioned right from...
Just tried to gas it up, and the rear tires just spun on him.
This is what happens to Mike Pepper, Fred Thompson, and more. They were 4 wide, crossed the start-finish line, and it fell apart for the back half of the field, coming down in towards turn number 1. And, oh, that's a hard hit for the 6 into the inside wall. It's not going to happen, though. No room to make that move work into turn 1.
Nope, no room at the end there for him, and he's going to have to hold that out. Oh, that's the 64 machine. That's Rutherford. He got very... Take a look. If you find the wall around here, that's pretty impressive. As there we see the spin, and no, managed to keep it off. I think he kept it off the wall there, so that's a good catch for the 92 there.
In fact, Garcia off again just seconds ago, and that was a full spin around.
Yeah, Garcia looks like he's just having problems out here today, unfortunately. He is just not in good position. Not the way that he goes. He's going to bring it down here through yard sale. Jumps on the binders, just carries a little bit too much speed, tries to get on it. That wasn't on braking. That was a spin of the tires.
And you could tell, right, he was drifting to the outside of the cars. They do not like bumps. We know that for a fact. And, well, off there goes Luke Peterson as he spun off into the weeds and nearly went right into the woods. Some guy passed on a double yellow line, and this, oh, hello, as well, Rick Thompson trying to knock, where are you going? Where is he right now?
That's,
how did he,
outside?
How did he get there? Oh, that car is destroyed. Oh no. Ah, that'll do it.
Real ride. Oh! All right, we learned that those pieces of fence there are apparently made out of carbotanium.
Just like you, I did not think this was even a possibility. I mean, lucky that fence was there. Otherwise, a few spectators probably would be sent to the morgue after that one. As ugh.
Yeah.
Is there a property on the other side of that fence?
I'm not sure. I've never been to Summit Point, so I do not know the answer to that necessarily.
Clipping the curb on this one. Definitely not. Way too wide.
Yeah, just too much speed coming into the corner there, and that's going to carry him on back and forth when you think about it. So credit to these drivers for being able to do it. It's a hard thing to think about. Oh, as the 22 goes around.
Yep, that was saying this one, another spin, same corner, just getting unsettled on those bums and rode up the embankment and put the throttle in again and roll and don't get stuck and get that car back underway. Marshals will give him a nice little wave as he passes by their little station.
Corners there, didn't really find a good way to get back onto the track, finally was able to get his way back to it, and then was able to get back going around.
And then that happened.
Yeah.
I am actually curious as to what happened with the second one. We'll get a...
Not wrong. It is not exactly an easy thing to do when you're coming around here. Let's take a look at the replay. This is the number 8 locking up there. That's Van Leer. Oh, and again, we've had a couple of lucky breaks here when it comes to
entering. Oh, that's way too fast.
Yep, going to come in there, not going to have enough down. Oh, that'll wake you up in the morning. See what they're able to do. The 83 having a little bit of it off there, it looks like.
Yep, spinning that car out on the exit of the hairpin, and then Schloss in the same corner, sending it down into yard sale, and he will also loop the back end, trying to get on. Oh, he got clipped, trying to avoid Alberico. I think he did. Yeah, let's. Cook will not be a happy camper with that, as Corey Rutherford locked it up, went in deep, and then this is what. I mean, I can understand rejoining on the right-hand side, but you can't.
It's the phrase we used this morning, not acting outside your means here at this point.
A 1-12-12. Whoa, look out! He's in too hot, and he's going to spin the 49 car around down into turn number 1. Just lost the back end while trying to slide into pit road, and see that little hit right there, middle of the field. That ended up spinning Hunter Engrave around, and the caution really came out for Engrave, sliding back up onto the racetrack in turn 1. George, that barely got around. This is at speed. Watch the 64 going to slowly come down, and just no room. And a multi-car pileup on the back straightaway.
He's going to be able to get a move on Williamson, and now Poliski's going to try for the same.
Oh, Allison going around, though, and he's going to collect up Poliski. Poliski goes into the inside wall.
Right now, that's going to be a little bit of a sketchy situation for him. There's more contact there as we check out the replay. Working their way back there you can see the 55 just comes up the track, doesn't really see the 199 there, and a big view of the bottom of that car for dive it down again on that middle to low line here at this point, and that car just going to get a little bit squirrely, makes contact with the inside wall there ever so slightly, and then gets his car back going around. I think he took that car out. I think he's just done for the day, not really agreeing with this dirt track running. See if there's any problems. Oh, no, excuse me. He had a massive lick there with the number 5 of Corey Rutherford.
Yeah, so he's just going to try to go straight on, and, I mean, that's just wrong place, wrong time, and that's a hard lick into the wall.
Yeah, here tonight, and he's definitely playing with it here at this point, as there we've got a little bit more lap traffic that they're trying to deal with right now. Whoa, as the 55 goes for a little bit of a journey and makes a little bit of contact there with the outside concrete. Barriers here at this point, the 199 in front of him just didn't get that car turned, didn't get the flick in to break traction on the rear end of the car, just tried to turn it in a little bit normal. The pillars of concrete, let's see, just loops the car coming off at turn 4 and
just that?
Magically finds the gap. That was a little bit squirrely there coming off of 1, made contact, got some drivers in front of him that he's just trying to hold on to here at this point, and then you see the car just kind of twitches out from underneath him. He tries to get it back around, brings it back out, and just a simple matter of high side in the car.
Yeah, guys can put some more fuel to the cars and maybe even rework the track as the 199 of Matt Williams is going to go around and collects Hunter Engrave Rutherford way off the side of the racetrack in the background.
That's actually a battle for position between Tommy Cook and Matt Williamson.
Well, not anymore, because Tommy Cook just spun it around, coming around through turn numbers 3 and 4, and he'll back that car to the inside against the concrete. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen yellow flag yet, right? I mean, I know that we saw a few I had to play this wreck as well.
Yeah, let's take a look right now. Schlosser there coming up through in that 099 machine. Let's see.
That was Higi.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Higi lost it, and Schlosser just a little bit of a hapless passenger there, I think. And momentum as a driver, so it's not exactly the easiest thing, as now Engrave's going to find himself 3 wide, spun, and there goes your leader facing the wrong way.
And Corey Rutherford will do the same just up the road, and they're going to come together a second time in turn numbers 3 and 4. Down to the inside of line. And what if he took this one off the berm at turn 1? No, he spun it around on the very bottom side of the racetrack and just took the tow from there. Look back as Joshua Rutherford goes into turn number 1. And is that Poliski right behind him though? Is that the 12 or the 32 that we're looking at?
I think that was Poliski. No contact there, but he did get a little bit scared coming off the line, it looks like, and I think he just kind of psyched himself out, and that's what sent him around.
So that was incident number 1 of that corner. Then right there, you see him go way off the side and just into the weeds, and he can't stop. Still going downhill. Finally gets some flat, spins it around, but stalled the car, which is why he spent so much time. Back has caused a good chunk of this leading, well, what was the pack to lose control, and whoa, boy, Poliski body slams the outside wall, and that car is broke. Poliski struggling to maintain control. Take another look back, as that's what happened to Dave Payton. Sexton was slowing up, and Payton was completely unsighted, and Sexton, granted, did look like he was going back out to the racetrack, but Payton was way too hot if he was trying to make it to pit road. There was no way that 38 car was going to make it into the lane. Take a ride on board. Oh, you know what? I don't think Payton was ever intended to come to pit road. I think he was just trying to keep it out of the racetrack, and, well, oh, he's just going to get loose. Rebounds off the apron, back up into Higgy. Higgy strikes the wall, and Sexton fully loops it around. It's a nasty little spin there for Sexton, but I know Joshua Higgy had a reinforced, take a look, and yeah, that just came around all by himself. That's an identical mistake to what happened in the first time he almost got spun. And this time, I have no idea how that wasn't a caution. I mean, cars are flashing by him. And he was trying to make it to pit road. He's going to loop the back bumper, or the back end, and spin back up the racetrack, and just keeps that car out of the outside wall. Good save there. Right on board with Nate Morris for this. Looking like Payton, I think, missed a shift. That's what that sounds like, or maybe he restarted in the wrong gear. Wait for number 2. A drag race off the final corner, but it'll be Brody Gunter to take the race win. Jan Van Leer is dumped in the background. And is now looking to challenge Max Lawson. We'll take a look at some of those incidents later on in the race. Contact and around will go Sexton, tags the wall, and that's at the narrowest part of the circuit, checking up the field. He'll get in the Corey Rutherford, the driver responded this way. He's had to slam the brakes, and then just behind as well. And Poliski up the road. He got run into by the 74 and slammed the outside wall. Took Max Schlosser with him. And then, of course, you saw further up the road Jan Van Leer in the number 8 car. And then did Van Leer have some help here? No, he did not. He spun that up all by himself, and one driver did have to go evasive. And then this is now what happened to Carson George, as he again just goes in too hot and missed the tires altogether and went straight into the concrete. And then Nate Morris just a second ago having this problem on the racetrack, as he's going to jam on the brakes, spin around, and body slams the wall again. Poliski again going into the fence. I don't think he potentially was just trying to slow down to let this field through. And he, in fact, did find the barrier. Poliski again going into the fence, this time at turn 1. Again! And he will have gone in too deep, way too deep! Slams into the wall hard. Arrow jamming on the binders. And he's just going to lose the back end, strikes the pit wall. Has he found the wall again, or it might be a lazy spin, and it is the latter. Well, not so lazy, has found the wall. Just can't S-step, just loops the back end, tags Gainey, and around he goes. Gunter's up the road, and that stuff was well clear. It locks it up, goes in deep, and that'll be a race ender for you. Lost it on the bumps, and tell you what, he did a good job to keep it out of the barriers until he then drove it forward and did this. Yeah, that's not camera that we saw that battle for 11th on, situated right next to turn 1, and this is Kyle Zittel jamming on the brakes, in too hot. Yeah, that's pretty much identical to the sound we heard, so there you go. Self-inflicted. You saw him walking it up, he just goes straight. Dave Payton and Paul Ellison in the race. Well, whoa, look out! Ellison in too hard! He's going to clean out Kyle Zittel and slams him hard into the barriers. Too hard on the brakes. Oh. Just leaving his pit stall there on the left-hand side of the screen. Josh Rutherford spins the back bumper here, then here comes Corey Rutherford and does the same thing right out of pit road. Granted, it's not a long straight, and yeah, he just looped the back bumper and went for a very high-speed slide. Oh, yeah. Yep, that'll do it. All right, so Andy Poliski effectively down and now out of this race. Found the wall. No, he loses it on the exit and finds the outside wall. Back at this one, and oh, it might have been here. Oh, yep, that will do it. Slams into the turn 5 wall, and that broke the left front. And so this will be the pass. It's again that left front. He's hit the wall again, and this is the pass for Hunter Engrave to make up the number 2 spot, approaching the plaza section. Oh my gosh, that was closer than I thought as Engrave gets up into the number 2 spot. Don't tell me. Yep, he's gone in deep, and he has slammed the wall, and just like this is Dave Payton. Loses the back end, strikes the wall, then up the road, Casey Campbell. Gets into the inside wall, in way too deep again. Oh, and he's going to take out Nate Morris. As he went in hard and jumped on the brakes and found the tire barrier in a big way, and then Cook and Dave strikes the wall. But then here comes Dave Payton. Follows in his tracks and hits the same spot. 2. And he's just going to loop the back end and goes for that lazy spin. Gasses it up to keep it out of the wall. And how about that? He didn't hit anything. Who's going to spin next? Or hit the wall next? As whoopsie daisy, a little kiss of the wall, nothing too serious. It's caught out a lot of people today, and it'll bite another in too hot and not gonna make it. Oh, holy cow. Only to have this issue in turn 2. Spinning the back end. He will loop the back end. Spins up the wheels. He will back it into the fence, though. Air barriers on the exit of turn 1. Just as always, in too hot, slams the wall. And that, I think, has he just hit that 20 incident DQ him like Casey Campbell and Paul Ellison? Whoa, look out! Big slam, and sure enough, he got it. This is Cook. Whoops, just on the power too hot and slams into the wall. Turn 1, and let me guess, tire wall? Concrete wall.
Pretty affected. Oh!
He got checked by Ellison.
He actually got checked. Yeah, he got door checked there, or front right checked, and that definitely will send you to the infield every time. There with.
Just a tough lick into the wall for sure. It's not something you were hoping to see, and we will get a look on board with. That'll definitely do it, and that's a lick for Carson George. Goes big time into the outside fence.
When you see guys too wide like that, it's really easy to want to push that car, keep his position up here. As they collect each other going down the backstretch as we get another caution with the 55 and the 38 of Dave Payton.
Payton just got in there with Paul Ellison. It looked like he was almost trying to pinch him down, and Corey Rutherford just getting hard on the brakes to avoid that mess. May have just caught a piece, but could have been worse.
Yeah, great job by the number 5 of Corey Rutherford to be aware of what was going on in front of him. That front tire is not going to appreciate.
Taking a race win, it is definitely going to help your chances big time. Oh, Engrave into the wall. A rare mistake for the 49 as he is into the wall big time. Still losing it. He's going to spin out entirely. Engrave around and the caution's out with 15 to go. He tried to tow an Alt F4 before a yellow could be thrown, but it was too late.
That gave me PTSD. I remember doing a race with Connor Daly in the truck series and got a restart with the trucks and just gave it too much throttle on old tires and it spun out on me, and looks like the same situation there, especially when you're struggling with a little bit of damage. Your car is just not going to handle the way you expect it to. So
right now on a charge at the head of this field. Well, he's in survival mode. He's going to turn Brody Gunter into the wall. Sorry, you're going to turn Gady into the wall, send cars spinning around, and yellow flag number 1 on the speedway.
as we're coming down the back stretch, I believe.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, he got into it with the one. That was Cole Maxwell that turned him.
So with this track, there's not a ton of brakes, especially when you're green flag, because you really want to get as much momentum as possible coming out of the pits and going into the pits. So not super surprised by that. Glad nobody else was collected in that. And with as big as this apron is on this track, I imagine
He caught the wall and he just ran into the back of him.
Yeah.
Look on Gunter, out of pit road, just like we saw, but this time hard into the inside wall. And that'll knock the 01 car out of race contention tonight from Darlington. Watch Van Leer enter from stage right. Good old shot to the shorts will spin the 099 around. He did a good job, though, to keep that car off the outside wall. That could. I don't know, for that angle, it looked like Gunter came down. Gosh, there was nowhere, though, for Rutherford to take that. Right on board with him, just behind. Gunter making an attack on Van Leer. Coming through turn 2. Whoa! Oh, no! Van Leer into the wall. Gunter into the wall, spinning it out. Caution's out again. Multiple cars scrambling through the infield. Rene Garcia's been turned as well. Still about a minute shy. This should be it here, though. Yep, right there. You saw him tank that outside wall. Take another look. And Scott loose out of 4, and man, absolutely body slammed the outside wall. And then this was Joshua Higgy making the pass for third as Morse overshot 3 and 4. Gonna try to make this look down into turn 1. Just gets up, clips the wall, got loose, and oh, there's what had Gainey hook him into the wall, and then loopses the back end again, slides up, and make a bit of a secondary hit there as well. Seattle Blight came out right on board. That was good work there. He throttled it up to keep it out of the wall and then blocked it down when it faced the other way. Just whoops, whoops, and around it goes. And look at how close that car came to disaster. And looking like Williams just kind of stuffed the 8 into the corner. Pretty hard hit into the outside wall for Williams. Time to cook up the road as well. Now, how far back is this end from Williams? Pretty far. Yep, he cleaned out the 8 through and through. Good save from Williams, but it is enough to bring out the caution. Yeah, just got loose all by himself, and then Cook just came screaming in there. I'm not sure where Cook was going or where he thought he was going. Take a look at speed. Good Lord! I would have ripped the whole floor off that car. Well, they battle for positions behind. More contact. Into the outside wall goes Poliski. Sliding down. Caution is out. Yellow number 7. He's still losing it on the front stretch. See how far side the 74 car gets here. Then he's going to rip it down to the inside. And right about there, look at the height that car got and carried. I cannot understate to you just how wild of a ride that actually is. Watch Poliski and Garcia here now. Now, looking like Poliski just got on the throttle a little bit too aggressively, and then Grodigunda just had nowhere to go. And then Rene Garcia just seconds later, oh, broke loose and absolutely pile drove Nate Morse into the outside wall. Even Morse bobbled loose before all of that. What a weird set of corners there. Poliski tried to take that 3 wide down the inside, and right there is going to get into the 74. He's going to get turned by Brody Gunter at the back of the field and spin to the inside, and then it's on from there. Just a hard slap into the outside fence. The McDonald's machine, and just picks up too much throttle on the exit. That's all she wrote. Takes a hard smack into the outside wall and then again into the inside wall. Having another problem. This one will put him a laps down as he took that toe to the pits. And that might be a day over for him. Brody, Angrave, Schlosser, and Thompson have all come down and into pit road. Oh! Man, you could hear that impact. And just going to lose it off of turn 2. Goes for a big slide and boom! Hard hit into the inside wall, and look at the air that that car got. Golly, that is a ride that he took. On bar, slides out and slams hard into the inside wall. Did Howland maybe get into Gainey potentially? Oh, I'll tell you what, that was a good save from Gainey to keep that off the wall. Take a ride on board with him. Has had this problem go awry all by himself, just kicks the back end out, overcorrects, hard hit into the outside wall. The only reason why that wasn't a yellow was because the rest of the pack was still getting up behind him. So, and just like we saw earlier, just snaps hard into the wall, and that was Van Leer that got into the 74. And then, yeah, no kidding, there were a couple of drivers like Williams that just barely managed.
Lazy spins and a little bit of oversteer coming out of those corners are semi-typical from this track, but I feel like it's been a little excessive tonight, and maybe it's just the fact that, you know, during the nighttime temperatures, this setup was not really meant for those guys. That was more meant for daytime racing. If you look right there, that black line right there is where that transition in the banking is, and you hit that line right down the middle of the car, and it causes that rear end to come loose. So you really have to dodge that line coming out of the corners. But you know,
to battle it out at this beautiful turn. But he was, whoa, look out! Matt Schlosser spins around in turn number 3. He's going to get drilled in the door by Paul Ellison. Corey Rutherford scrapes the wall. Caution flag number 1 early on. And sorry, that was Gerald Williams and the Black Ice crew that spins it around with Schlosser. Oh, he got turned.
Car-to-car contact. Yeah, and that looks, was that Garcia?
Woo. I think it was, and what a save. Garcia tracking up on the bottom, goes to the outside wall with Rick Thompson, and I mean, it's a hard hit, but I would not expect that hit to get 5 minutes worth of repairs. So, Paul writes, I wonder if he had a different strategy loaded up than what he was intending on. Oh, yeah, trouble! Oh, hard into the wall. Van Leer crashing on the back straightaway. He'll take Dave Payton with him. Van Leer's still slamming up at the top side of the racetrack. He spins all the way to the bottom and goes into the inside wall, but no caution. Now the yellow flag flies.
Transitions, exiting 2 and exiting 4 here can really cause the car to get loose if you're too low on that exit. So that was what caused Luke Peterson to become a victim of that turn 2 outside wall here tonight.
Gosh. That, I think, does a good job on really emphasizing the speed that these cars were carrying when they had that. You saw how much, I think that was Rene Garcia, just shot to the inside, wanted to take run single file, and those, of course, whoa, now Corey Rutherford spins around hard into the inside wall, and that, I do believe, will bring out
Gerald Williams coming out of this corner here, gets a little loose and then snaps over steer, and it looks like they just had nowhere to go at that point. Spins out, clicks. Not a great start to his playoff run here. But another thing you got to think about too with these fixed setups is the brake bias, and it looks like he may have went a little too far forward on that brake bias and just got down and collected in there. Especially as this conditions get a little cooler tonight, these guys are probably gonna have to start thinking about, should I back up my brake bias a little bit so I'm not locking up those front tires entering into the corner. Yeah, Poliski coming out of this corner, just a hairy situation because there's not much you can do as a driver. He bumps the wall there and he wants to get out of the racing line to prevent himself from damaging further. But look, Brody Gunter happened to be there at the wrong time. But Brody Gunter created a lot of contact for him. I think his race is going to be done.
That's a couple of very hard hits into the fence. And oh gosh, that 3-4. 4 total hard impacts into the wall. Let's take a look back and we'll ride on board with Corey Rutherford. We'll back this up a little bit more and hang on for this ride. Coming around through turns 1 and 2. This is a big one, folks. Loose, overcorrected, came down and... Oh. That's 3 very, very hard hits, and that is going to see Corey Rutherford down and out. No caution.
No, pit entry, pit exit are very sketchy, you know, no matter what car and track you do, and unfortunately he's a victim of that, but great job by him to keep it off the track.
Van Leer's a lap down, I believe. And what in the world was that? Did he turn?
That almost looked intentional.
Right, I mean, it looked like he turned left on him. I don't want to make any call, but I mean, that doesn't look good from outside looking head on. Let's take a ride on board with Van Leer. Oh yeah, that is, I'm sorry, that is inexcusable. Wow. That is absolutely intentional. No.
Oh no.
Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Okay, well, oh, we just pulled it. Oh, okay, interesting. He